This is Singapore Tonight.
Good evening, I'm Jill Newbronner. Tonight's top stories. A steady pipeline of aid from Singapore to Gaza. Singapore will send more aid with a focus on helping children and families. One organisation here getting volunteers to pack relief supplies that will be flown to Jordan this week. The Health Minister calls for private insurers to exercise discipline in designing policies and warns that over-generous coverage is not sustainable. And a call for Singaporeans to change their habits in a bid to save water. Households are back to consuming less water, but the government wants to bring levels even lower. A pipeline of aid from Singapore to Gaza. About 300 volunteers, mostly students, came together to pack relief supplies for children affected by the war in Gaza. Each comfort pack comprises items including vitamin gummies, snacks, a water bottle, and a stuffed toy. The 5,000 packs are valued at 100,000 Singapore dollars. Non-profit group Humanity Matters will air freight the cargo to Jordan this week. From there, the donations will be delivered to Gaza. An online virtual mural was also launched for Singaporeans to pen their wishes for those affected by the conflict. In October, Humanity Matters organised a similar event with items like IV fluids, collapsible jerry cans and painkillers. It is also raising cash donations from now until the end of April.
We are working together to deliver the aid, and we are working through the Hashemite Charitable Fund in Jordan, where we make sure that it is delivered to the correct channels. And we are also working in other initiatives with Singapore that will be hopefully revealed in the upcoming days.
We come together as a society and we help. This is not the first place we are helping, and this won't be the last. We help. Singaporeans are generous when they see people in need in different places in the world, whether it's a natural disaster or here this is a war situation. Singaporeans come forward to help, and we help, I think, because we are able to and we have the heart to help.
The third tranche of Singapore aid to Gaza will focus on helping children and families. The donation campaign, held once again by charity organisation Rahmatan Lil Alamin Foundation, is expected to take place from the 20th to the 26th of March. Previously, $8 million was dispensed to provide refugees with food, water and shelter.
If you look at the situation in Gaza, it is not likely the conflict will quickly be resolved, nor the suffering be lifted. So it is important for the whole world to respond to the needs, particularly of the plight of the children, the women, their families, who are victims, an innocent victim of this conflict. We will then work with the agencies over there to what best can serve their need, and also with the authorities to ensure that the aid will get to the right hands.
Mr. Masagos was speaking at the sidelines of the launch of this year's Salam SG movement ahead of Ramadan, which begins tomorrow. The movement encourages mosques and Muslims to spread good. Programs over the next month include distributing Raya goodies, house cleaning, and for youths to gain a deeper understanding of Ramadan. A free English online class has been launched for people to learn more about the holy month of fasting. The Health Minister, MR.K, reiterated his call for private insurance firms to be more disciplined in designing their policies, and that's as over-generous coverage is partly driving higher healthcare costs now, along with an aging population. Mr. Ong was responding to a question on what steps the Health Ministry will take to keep the sector in check.
For healthcare ministry, what we do is we have the national scheme, which is MediShield Life. That one we will design properly to make sure there's good discipline, but there's also private insurance, which is not part of MOH's regulation. But I think, so I really hope that the insurance sector will come together and think of ways to rein in. Otherwise, it's not sustainable for them as well. The way it's designed, claims are so high, I think they have a problem fulfilling the claims.
Mr. Ong was speaking on the sidelines of a Ramadan Bazaar launch in Woodlands. The annual Bazaar Raya Utara is held at 2 locations for the first time, here in Woodlands and another one in nearby Sembawang. It boasts a total of 240 stalls, featuring an array of F&B options and retail items, including traditional Malay outfits. Visitors can also enjoy live performances by students and local musicians. The bazaar will run until the 4th of April. More than 100 Malay Muslim merchants in Nisun GRC will be featured in a directory. This ground-up initiative aims to grow the pool of entrepreneurs and support the community. This was announced at the Ramadan Bazaar held at Nisun, which drew some 800 residents. About 40% of the stalls here are run by residents who either run home-based businesses or are looking to start their own companies. It's hoped that such a platform will give budding merchants an opportunity to develop their business ideas.
And at the same time, we know that Nisun residents have a very strong kampong spirit. So with this strong kampong spirit, they can do a lot of wonders together to build a cohesive community and create opportunities for our Nisun residents, regardless of race, language or religion.
President Daman Jamugaratnam says changing how we consume daily products like food and clothing can save water in the face of the global water crisis.
There's another dimension to this that we have to start thinking about in the years ahead, which is that the water that we use is not just what comes out of the tap, but what we are consuming, our furniture and especially our food and our clothing. The food, clothing, furniture, everything we consume actually consumes water somewhere in the world. Somewhere in the world. There is a water footprint, just like there is a carbon footprint in everything we consume.
The President's remarks came during the launch of P.A.P's annual water conservation campaign. It's held along with celebrations for Singapore World Water Day. And it all kicked off with a mass dance at Jurong Lake Gardens, turning everyday water-saving actions into simple dance steps. This year's theme reinforces how every action in the community contributes to the country's sustainable water future. And while the downward trend in household water consumption has continued over the past 2 years, Sustainability and the Environment Minister Grace Fu believes more can be done to meet Singapore's 2030 Green Plan targets.
Well, there's still some distance away when we hope to bring the consumption pattern down. We have to work very hard because 141 is where we have the lowest level that we have hit pre-COVID. It seems to be a little bit stubborn, so we have to see how we can break it down further. Our target is 130.
Still to come, Pakistan lawmakers elect a new president after the incumbent's term was extended due to a delay in holding the general elections. Plus, Beijing appointed deputies representing Taiwan call for an education law to promote reunification.
More support will be given to Singaporeans to help us cope with the cost of living. As part of the enhanced assurance package, Singaporean households will receive an additional $600 in CDC vouchers. This will be disbursed in 2 tranches, in end June 2024 and January 2025. Eligible Singaporeans will also receive a cost of living special payment of between $200 and $400. Eligible HDB households will receive additional one-off USAVE and Service and Conservancy charges rebates. Singaporeans aged 21 to 50 will benefit from a one-time MediSave bonus of up to $300. This will help them grow their healthcare savings. A personal income tax rebate of 50% will be granted for the year of assessment 2024. This is capped at $200 so that the benefits go mostly to our middle-income workers. All past and present NS men, including those enlisting in 2024, will receive $200 in Life SG credits in appreciation of their contributions.
These are concrete ways to help Singaporeans tackle cost of living pressures. Let me assure everyone, we will always have your backs.